Listen first, because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up, apologizes, and welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strachan Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Good morning to all our veterans out there. Veterans, active duty military, and our citizen soldiers. Welcome to Veterans Views. We appreciate your support and we appreciate you listening. If you would like to call us and let us know what you're thinking, the number is 845. No, it's not.
219.
845.
1100.
There we go.
And
Back
if you don't do that 219, it won't go through.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's not like it used to be.
No, it's
I used
not
to
like
be
it
able to
used
dial
to be.
like 924-5118 with my
Yeah.
old house phone number.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do the area code.
No, it's because I think they have so many numbers now that you have to do the area code.
Probably. Yeah.
Some younger generations.
I still
Yeah.
remember my old numbers.
I do too. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Because
remember
you used
my
to
own
have to
number.
memorize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they don't.
That's
I can tell you what
crazy.
your guys' numbers are, but I call you all the time.
Yeah. I can't.
I can't.
I can't
No.
remember any phone numbers from today.
You should always know one in case you
Yeah.
ever get arrested.
No, I know my wife's. I know my.
Right.
I remember my old house, my grandma, some
Yeah.
of my best friends from high school. I remember
Yeah.
their numbers. But
Yeah, it's weird what you remember,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember my phone number as a kid, but I can't remember what I did yesterday. But you really want to date yourself. You know what a party line is?
Oh. No.
Oh, my God. I remember those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't remember.
You don't remember Party Line?
We had one when we lived in Alabama, and it was weird because you could pick up the phone and there'd be people talking.
Yeah.
And as long as you didn't breathe into the phone, they might not know you're there, and you could
That
get all
was
the...
like 70s, early 80s, like
No,
it
that was
probably
an
went
early
away.
70s thing.
Early 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
Yeah.
a Zoom call without the video.
Yeah.
And you call everybody individually.
And your phone would ring, and depending on where you were in the party line, that's how many rings you needed for it to be your phone.
All right.
was-
219-845-1100 is the party line here.
There
You're
you
gonna
go.
Give us a ring, and we'll get you on the air, and
One
we'll talk
ringy
about
dingy.
some veterans' views and
Yep.
some current events and anything else going on.
Yeah.
Donna?
Well, Steve, you want to read the contributor
I
list?
sure do.
All righty.
All right, we like to thank these people for keeping this show going. We're all volunteers here, so we want to thank American Legion, Hammond Victory, Post 168. They meet the first Tuesday at 6 p.m. You go, their location is 6849 Columbia Avenue. You can reach them at 219-937-4264. Calumet Brewery, 6535 Osborne Avenue in Hammond. You can reach them at 219-845-2242. Calumet Park Cemetery and Funeral Chapel, always supporting our veterans, 2305 West 73rd Avenue in Maryville. Call for special veteran savings, complete burial packages, 219-769-8803, or the chapel, 219-736-5840. DAV Chapter 17, they meet the first Thursday at 7 p.m. at VFW Post 802, 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. DAV Chapter 80, they meet the second Friday at American Legion, Post 261 in Cedar Lake at 13050 Washington Street. You can reach them at 219-386-2282. DAV Chapter 102, they meet the first Friday at the Fraternal Order of Eagles, 805 Elm Street in Valpo. Doors open at noon, meeting from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., and claims will start again after that until they're done. You can reach them at 219-200-0404. Laborers International Union, North America, 41, 500 Superior Street, Munster, 219-924-7922. Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721. They meet the second Thursday at 7 p.m. VFW Post 802, 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. Family Dental Care. Veterans receive free exams, x-rays, and cleanings, as well as 10% discount on all their services. 8 convenient Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana locations. Chicago's east and south sides, Calumet City, Crestwood, Oak Lawn, Evergreen Park, Harding, Munster, Indiana. All right. Call 219-804-9329 to schedule your appointment in Munster, or go to www.familydentalcare.com to schedule your appointment today. Ron J. Pressman Insurance Company for all your insurance needs: auto, home, life, health, business, and more. 7207 Adams Boulevard, Suite 1, 219-844-0103. Kuziak Construction, 1235 Summer Street, Hammond, 219-923-3007. The Dave Kuziak Show precedes Veterans Views and airs every Friday from 6 to 9. So be sure to tune in. WJOB, JED TV, 104.7, 12:30 a.m. for your Friday morning programming. One of our newest contributors, Heroes Helping Heroes. Heroes Helping Heroes. You can reach them at heroeshelpingheroesin.com, or you can call the founder, Rich Tokars, at 219-670-2501, or you can reach him at realtorricht@gmail.com. John Rodriguez will be in Michigan City DAV tonight, and tomorrow he will be, what did I say? He's gonna be?
Lowell.
In Lowell, yes.
VFW.
VFW in Lowell.
Yeah, and
From
so
noon to 4 tomorrow.
For those contributors, number one, we thank you. You keep the show running. Number two, if you're listening, get on the show. We'll get you on the show. We'll talk about what you do for the veterans organizations locally and how you can help. And again, we'll just promote your contribution here. And it's a great thing to keep this show running. We got a lot of great guests on throughout the year and a lot of great information to put out. Rich Tokar's Heroes Helping Heroes is also Advanced Real Estate, and he has an event coming up. It says Love Your Hero Day. Appreciation dinner for 2. There's hearts all over it. Looks like a Valentine's Day. Talk to him at the Wicker Park Vets and Friends Coffee Hour. Last Tuesday, I believe. It's the second Tuesday of every month. But anyways, great guy and contributor to our show. So he wanted me to put this out for him. Let's see, dinner, music, and bingo provided by Wildfire Cuisine. So it's a catered event, 21 and older, free entry, and dinner. Limited seats available and a cash bar, so you can go get yourself a cocktail, eat some free food, and enjoy it on Friday the 13th.
Oh boy.
No, but it's the day before.
Is
When's
it?
Valentine's Day? The 14th, right?
yeah.
14th,
Well,
yeah.
you're
So-
married. You got to remember that.
Yeah,
That's a
you know
law.
what? I got to take my wife to this.
So wait,
Yeah.
Love Your Hero Day. Let's see, it's for law enforcement, military, educators, first responders, and healthcare workers. And it will be arrival at 5:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. at Buddy and Pals in Crown Point.
Oh.
So I have a point of contact here, Jill Broughton, 219-256-6863. Love Your Hero Day. It's a free catered event for veterans and local first responders.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome. So there's a lot going on in the country right
Woo,
now.
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I don't even know where to start, but I wanted to start with the Insurrection Act. A lot of people have been throwing that term around, and I did a little research on it, and it's actually because a lot of people will bring up the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the military from being the police. But the Insurrection Act overrides that. The Insurrection Act has been used 30 times throughout our nation's history, starting with Thomas Jefferson, way back when in 1808.
Is that something that
1808.
just a president can
Yes.
call?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Was
yeah.
that
he-
when Thomas Jefferson was president?
Yes,
So he was the third president.
yeah, because this passed in
Was he?
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, this passed in 1807.
Wow.
Yeah,
Who was two? Adams?
John Adams?
yeah.
Yeah, John Adams.
219-845-1100. Call and correct us.
So you had Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln. Of course, he used it at the beginning of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Ulysses S. Grant used it to fight a lot of white supremacists back in 1874, 1875.
Really?
Ulysses S. Grant was a great president.
Yeah.
A lot of cool history.
Rutherford B. Hayes. There was a railroad strike in 1877 that he wanted to put down.
Oh, I think that's what a lot of unions use to bring up how they came about.
Oh, really?
I remember that
Like the
when I joined the
foundation of the
union.
union?
Yeah.
Well, they did a lot of great things and laid the foundation for a lot of the current labor laws.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, over the last couple hundred years, the unions have been super, super valuable to creating what's now an equal opportunity labor laws and equal pay. So
I mean, it was crazy because if I remember correctly, that you're talking about was a huge strike because they were arguing the days. They were working like 16-hour days every day.
Yep.
Kids were working. Like,
yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
And you could always tell a good conductor because he was missing two fingers. Because back in the day, when, now they have a lever to lift up the knuckle pin. But back in the day, the conductor had to stick his hands in there to lift that pin. And if you didn't pull your hand out in time, you'd lose your fingers.
oh.
Yeah.
So he was a good conductor if he lost his fingers.
Yeah.
He's probably insufficient at that point. But so this name this this enactment again. So the president has authorization to.
He has the authorization to federalize the National Guard.
Okay, and
And
from my
give them- and then
understanding, the
they-
National Guard is the only military force that can, if activated, bear arms against U.S. citizens.
Yes, that is correct. And they can have arrest powers and everything that the police,
Really?
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
that the police do.
Oh, I didn't
Active
know
duty,
that.
anything is not meant for that purpose.
Huh.
But, Chester Arthur did it in 1882 for gang violence in the Arizona Territory. Grover Cleveland, Woodrow Wilson, Douglas MacArthur, Franklin Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, JFK, LBJ, Reagan, and Bush.
So this has been used.
30
Quite
times,
often.
yeah. And the last time it was used was in 1992. Yeah, Bush used it twice. Once
Bush
in
at the end of Bush.
89 and once in 92. And 92 was the LA riots
Okay.
after the Rodney King verdict. That was the last
Oh,
time
wow.
it was used.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, we got a caller on the show. You're on Veterans Views, caller.
Yes. Could you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Thanks for accepting my call and speaking on Veteran Views. I wasn't sure. I was thinking about asking you guys this question. I've been thinking about for 2, 6, 8, 10 weeks. It's kind of uncomfortable.
Okay.
about it, but here goes nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Long time ago, when I was in the 10th grade in high school, I happened to caught one of those powerful made-for-TV movies. It had Martin Sheen on it, and he played. And the movie was the TV powerful movie was called The Execution of Private Slovak. You know, he was the first. You're already familiar about this. He was the first soldier that got executed for desertion. You know, I mean, I happened to saw that, and I freaked out for about a year or two after that. And I heard like his late widow was trying to get some sort of funds during the Carter administration. You know how they gave Japanese families about I think it was $100,000 each, 10 or a dozen of them. You probably remember seeing that in the news, you know. So, and about the Carter administration didn't want to have nothing to do with something way back then. Yeah, did she ever get any respiration, something? You know what I'm asking, more or less?
So you want to know if, excuse me, the widow of Private, you call his name was Slovak?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, his widow was trying to get some sort of funds, but the Carter administration didn't want to have nothing to do with it. But later on, they gave money to Japanese families.
Right.
About 10 or a dozen of them. I don't know if you guys heard that. So did they probably gave her something after a while?
I don't know, but I will definitely do some research on it, and I can let you know next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
No, but I'll
Yeah,
have...
it says, I know a little bit, Slovak was executed for a military offense of desertion.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah. His wife, what I already said already. I don't mean to repeat myself.
Right.
Your program is on every, every Friday?
Friday, 9 a.m.
Every Friday,
WTOP. Yeah, a lot. I didn't realize that during World War II, in all theaters of the war, the United States military executed 102 of its own soldiers for murder, rape of fellow soldiers and civilians. So war's an ugly thing.
World War II?
World War II.
Wow, you never hear about that.
You don't hear about that because obviously, there's always a bad side to war. And when
absolutely.
you're out there and they're commandeering these, broken down cities in Europe. You know
what this movie reminds me of?
Think about it when you're drafted. I mean, you're not really vesting criminals.
Yeah.
Just sending them out there, and then they go to a different country and they can wreak havoc,
Well, it's like stop loss.
102 of its own soldiers for murder and rape.
Wow.
They're killed, executed.
That's crazy. But yeah, that reminds me of that movie Stop Loss. And it was kind of the same principle. He had just came back from a tour, and then they were trying to send him back, but he was supposed to be getting out. So he was like, no.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think he ran. I don't know.
I know there was a thing back, during the not Desert Storm, but during this last Gulf War where there was a lot of people being sent on multiple tours, and they just, they'd come back to the States for 30 days and they'd go right back, you know, and that I can't even imagine having to do that, and there was a lot of people who were, pretty upset. Like you just said, they were supposed to be getting out, or they were told they were going to be back in the States for at least a year. Yeah. And, 30, 60, 90 days later, they're going back. So
I got a little bit. Antoinette Slovak, Eddie's wife, was denied payments from GI insurance policy and pension by the Army because he was executed for desertion. So they denied her those benefits, according to what I just looked at.
Wow.
So
I would like to know this story of the desertion.
There's a lot of scenarios where, I got my SGLI, right? I got because I'm current National Guard, and if I was to either kill myself or do something unlawful, then my family wouldn't get paid out, even as fine as me driving without a seatbelt.
Really?
Say I'm driving without a seatbelt and I fly through the window and die, but because I was at the moment driving unsafely and breaking the law without a seatbelt, then that insurance would not pay my family out.
Wow, that's
so there's
crazy.
there's some underwriting that's
yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. Like if you're and we've talked about this prior on the show, if you're dishonorable, and you've done things that discredits the United States military, the ethics, the warrior ethos, all those things, like, in my opinion, you shouldn't be eligible for the benefits.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just reading this last week that they denied, they actually re-evaluated it and did an audit on some of the VA disability claims and went back and denied like hundreds of people that were on VA disability that had been dishonorably or other than honorably discharged.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder how they even got the benefits
How they
in the
got
first
through,
place.
right?
Well,
I
I could tell you on that one because there was they enacted a rule, I think it was like 2022, where if you can prove that you had like because a lot of people have good time and then something happens and then they get kicked out, right?
Right.
So what they were saying is if during that good time you had something happen to you that could have been PTSD and then you get in trouble,
okay.
then you can fight it and get disability. So I know a couple people that got PTSD because of that act. But I don't know how much.
So there's
how
there's a
legal
fine
it is.
line between wrong and just stupid.
Right.
Yeah, I made a mistake, right?
Right.
When I first got in was pretty much right as the war, the Iraq freedom was on the downtrend, and then we were heavy in Afghanistan at the time in late 08, early 09. And at the time, because the military was on the downtrend, right, we were super strong in force at the moment. And so anybody that did something that was wrong, they pretty much could easily get kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
So I had soldiers that would intentionally smoke weed.
To get
so
out.
they get pop hot and they would get kicked out.
Wow.
Nowadays it's a lot harder. If you smoke weed, they make you go to like, therapy and stuff like that, right? And like in rehab and things like that so that you can come back to duty. Back then it was an automatic other than honorable discharge. So a lot of these people were like, I just want to get out. There's no way out because they wouldn't let you out just for any willy-nilly reason back then. Or you'd have to go through the hoops of like psychological evaluations. So these people would pop hot on purpose, essentially ruining their careers and not knowing what they're doing in the future because they're now null to all benefits.
Yeah.
Because they're dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I guess in situations like that, if you could go back and be like, hey, you know what? I got PTSD because I just came back from war. And I didn't want to be in the military anymore, and they didn't give me any options, so I smoked weed, and it was a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Could you then go back and prove that it was because of your mentality at the moment that made you make those wrong decisions?
Wouldn't they have to upgrade your discharge first, though?
No.
No?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, and you have to, there was that caveat. You had to prove. There's a lot to prove.
Yeah.
You had to prove that something happened, and you had to prove that you had a good time. You had to prove that you had a diagnosis for a disability that then was created by the military. So it's, it could be a lot. Oh, do we have a caller?
Yep.
All
All right,
right.
go ahead, caller. You're on with Veterans Views.
Good morning, Veterans Views. It's Lisa from Indianapolis,
Good
and I'm almost
morning.
over COVID.
Oh, good.
You feeling better?
I am feeling better today.
That's good.
It's been a long haul, though, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet.
So stay
man, I
healthy,
bet.
everybody, because this time around, it's pretty bad.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
So what's going on, Lisa?
Hey, wanted to let you know, we have Indiana Legal Services that helps with discharge upgrades.
Okay.
And what you guys are talking about, there's a whole list from the DOD that they published that are eligible for discharge upgrades. And Indiana Legal Services has a program that helps with discharge upgrades.
Okay.
Because the scenarios that you guys are talking about, some of them would be eligible. If the person was like convicted of a crime, they're not going to be eligible.
Okay.
But just smoking some weed, right, to get out
Right.
because they weren't in a good mental space, that is something that is certainly upgradable. And so, again, Indiana Legal Services, it is also headed by an Air Force veteran, Polly Pulliam.
Oh.
They have great services. So I would encourage your listeners to check that out. And then for assistance, those veterans that have an other than honorable discharge, but they have issues that stemmed from the service, they can present themselves at their local VA medical center and ask for care for those issues from services. From the service, and that VA medical facility makes that decision on a case-by-case basis. And so I urge anyone, even if you have an other than honorable discharge, check to see if it's upgradable. And two, if you have an issue from the service, reach out to your VA medical center and apply to get care for those issues.
Absolutely. That's great advice. That's great to know that they do that.
Yeah.
And that somebody that, because when I was looking at upgrading, somebody asked me a question about upgrading discharges, and I was told that you have to go through whatever service you served under. I didn't know that there was a legal service you could, hire or whatever to help you.
You do go through. Yeah, you do go through the branch of service that you were separated through. Each one has its own process. They're quite similar, but yet different.
Okay.
But Indiana Legal Services, they can help with any branch service upgrade. They have attorneys that are versed in it. And so I would encourage everyone. And so are you, ladies and gentlemen, aware of the property tax bill moving through the Indiana General Assembly?
A little bit.
Yeah,
we talked a little bit about
it at the round table, and then I know that was a point of emphasis for a lot of the members that went down on the bus ride this Monday.
Yeah.
Past Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So update us there, Lisa.
That bill was heard in the Ways and Means Committee on Wednesday. It's House Bill 1187. It's 24 pages long. It's written the way we described it by a Philadelphia lawyer.
Oh, boy.
It's really hard to read and understand.
Yeah.
It refers between old code and new code with expiration dates, but basically here's the breakdown. Currently, we have a $24,960 deduction for disabled wartime veterans. Once you turn 62, you get a $14,000 deduction off of the assessed value of your home.
Nice.
You also get that $14,000 anytime if you're totally disabled. That's our current benefit. That benefit will go away completely in 2028.
Really?
It will be replaced with this. If you are a disabled veteran, 10% or above, you will get a $300 credit.
$300 whole dollars?
Once you $300 credit. It's different than a deduction.
True.
Okay? And
Right.
so also, if you are a wartime veteran, 10% disabled, once you get over the age of 62, you get another $400 credit. So you'll have a $700 credit against your actual tax bill, not the assessed value.
At 62,
And,
you can get that other
you-
400.
The other 400. And so you also get to get your senior credit, which in the past, if you got your disabled veteran deduction, you didn't get your senior deduction.
Right.
So
Okay.
you'll get to put your senior credit, which is $250 on top of that.
Ooh.
Then
Ooh.
you'll get
$950.
the standard credit, which everybody gets, which is what they say up to $300. Depends on the value of your home, right?
All right, $1,250.
And that's the amount of credits that you get off the value of your home. Now,
Okay.
there's another provision in 1187. Are you guys sitting down? I know you are.
Yes, we are.
totally disabled veterans will get 100% tax exemption.
Oh my God.
In that's what they're trying to pass through. Because I know Michigan and
And-
Illinois does that already, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can that actually get out of committee?
Okay. It's going to get out of committee this year. They tried to do something in 2025, and they really screwed the pooch on it,
Schmucked
right?
it
We
up.
all know that.
Yeah.
And so they are looking to fix it and not have to revisit it. But here's the caveat. The bill still has the $240,000 home value limit.
Oh.
Oh.
So anything after 240,
But
you would
in
still be on the
committee-
hook for taxes.
Yes.
Okay.
But there was a bill passed in the Senate, out of the Senate Tax and Fiscal on Tuesday, Travis Holdman's bill, that removed the home value. And so in the testimony that was given in the House Ways and Means Committee, it was testified to that the $240,000 home limit needs to be removed.
Yes.
It was removed in the Senate. We'd like to have it removed. The bill's author and the chairman of the committee, in their conversation, via my interpretation, seem to be amenable to that. Now, the way this committee works is 1 week they take testimony. Next week will be amend and vote only. And so what we need is veterans to contact their legislator and the chair of the committee with a simple message. Thanks for looking at property taxes for disabled veterans, but we need that home value removed.
Okay. Who's the chairman of that committee?
The chair of that committee is Representative Thompson.
So then
He's a very nice gentleman.
Would local regions have their own
Yeah,
committee member?
Yeah.
Who's ours, Frank or Adrian?
Oh, no.
Well, you would want to look at the House Ways and Means Committee and look at the members on that committee, because they're the ones that vote on this to get it out of committee.
Okay.
If something comes out of the Ways and Means Committee with a thumbs up, the full House is going to vote for it, because they don't put it through that committee if it's something that the leadership hasn't already approved.
Okay.
So if any of the listeners out there know our local representative for this committee,
I don't know if we have one on there. I'm
Yeah?
not sure who's all on there.
you would think the region would have.
You would think.
One of probably the top 3 tax areas in the whole
Right.
state.
Well, there you go, making sense. With
Yeah,
politics.
you'll have somebody that's close. If not, reach out to the chair of the committee.
Yeah.
Reach out to the ranking minority member on the committee and the bill author, which is Representative Chris Judy. Now, here's some caveats with that bill. Okay.
Always caveats.
This is a huge win for totally disabled veterans. This is a huge win by giving wartime veterans a property tax benefit, because they didn't get it before, non-wartime veterans a property tax benefit, because they didn't get it before. That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It is.
If we get the home value removed is the caveat, and that will be a big deal, because that disqualified a lot of veterans from taking advantage of their full benefit that they should have gotten.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Lisa.
It being a
Go ahead.
being a credit, every veteran gets the same benefit, right?
Yeah.
But the downside is this: it's a credit, it's a number. We all know that our assessed values are going up, 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 which means our taxes go up, up, up.
Yeah.
So when we have the number as a set number, we'll get underwater on that number and it not mean as much. And so we have brought up the idea of putting in a percentage or some kind of circuit breaker that the credit goes up with, inflation, cost of something, so that we don't have to every 5 years come back and tell them we need that credit raised.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like a 2.75 or 3% inflation rate.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, understood. This
Yeah.
question about the credit, and then I have another question about the wartime veterans. So with the credit, you said it takes off the assessed value of your home, or does that just like
No,
in my mind, a credit takes off your actual payment obligation for the year?
Yes, the deduction takes off the assessed value.
Right.
The credit comes off of your total tax bill at the end.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
that credit, what I was adding up after senior and the other subjects that we were talking about was like $1,250. Now my tax bill for my current home is like $1,800 a year or something in Griffith. So if I'm 62, I get the senior, I get the disabled over 10%,
Yeah.
right? And I can get tax credits up to $1,250. Then that only means that my obligation to pay for the year is like $600 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I kind of speaking the right
Yeah.
language here?
I think so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then,
Yes,
and then
you are.
the other question for wartime, does that specifically mean combat veterans deployed in war, or even if you served during war, right? Because obviously a lot of us served during a wartime. Seems like
Yeah.
we're always at war somewhere.
Right.
You know?
It is just wartime service. You had to serve while we were considered to be wartime, but it is not combat and it is not deployed. There are not those caveats.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Nice.
I'd like to see the small chart of periods in the last 70 years that there were not at war.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
What years
Yeah.
were they considered
Okay,
not
let me
wartime?
tell you the era. The one I run into the most is 79 to 81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I have
you're
some-
right. I forgot about that.
I know a lot of people that served 79 to 81. They're not considered, wartime veterans. For a while, they couldn't join the American Legion with me. They can now, and we've got a couple ladies that joined after that time frame.
Wow.
But
So did the
And
Legion
so
at some
we've
point
got some
shift
good-
gears from having only wartime veterans to allowing all veterans? Because
Yes.
I know the VFW is more wartime.
Yeah, that was
right?
just a few years ago they changed
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, the American Legion would have been time frame like 2020, 2019 time frame. They petitioned Congress. It's the Legion Act. And they changed their constitution and bylaws to allow non-wartime veterans. I know this because at the time I was the legislative director for AMVETS, Department of Indiana, and I was the chair for National AMVETS Women's Committee, and it caused a stir because for the longest time we were the largest all-inclusive veteran, congressionally chartered veteran service organization. And when the Legion opened up their membership, that kind of shot that out of the water.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Gotcha. Okay.
And AMVETS,
And
you
so
can, Dave,
we've
and
got-
take non-military members. Am I right? Somebody was wearing some AMVET stuff the other day. Said they weren't in the military, and I said, I don't know. Is there like an auxiliary to AMVETS or something like that?
I don't know much about
They
them.
were probably sons.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
They were probably sons or, AMVETS has, instead of having an auxiliary, they have the sons of AMVETS, and then they have the ladies auxiliary.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
And
that's
so
great.
where
all
the
such great
Legion, the
information.
VFW,
Yeah.
the DAV, they all have auxiliaries for men and women. That's what an auxiliary is. It's for the spouses.
Yeah.
And so AMVETS has a ladies auxiliary because the male members of AMVETS are too afraid to tell their wives that they need to open their membership up to men.
That's awesome. I believe it too.
And those are their words, not me saying it. I'm repeating it. And so it causes some consternation because if you're going to be a true supporter of my service, you have to have a legitimate place for my husband
Right.
and my dad.
Yeah.
And it's not in the sun.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not
And
just arm
so,
candy, right?
But But please reach out to your legislators and let them know what you think. That $240,000 provision is a big deal.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Every
there's going
house
to be
in
some veterans.
the area is over that almost. Like,
Not mine.
well,
Yep.
I live in
I mean,
Hammond. So.
But there's going to be some
probably pretty
veterans that
close. You'd be
lose.
surprised.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of veterans that lose this benefit.
So let me ask you this
Well,
then.
there'll be some veterans that lose out because of this benefit.
Yeah.
If the house is worth $250, then are you only on the hook for $10,000? Or if it's over $240, then you don't get the benefit at all. This is the way it's set.
You don't get the benefit at all.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to get it removed.
Just go out there and throw mud
They
on the
seem
siding.
amenable
and
to
mess the
it.
yard up.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get
Yep.
let's give
Now,
a benefit that
there are
nobody
some
qualifies
veterans.
Right.
Yeah. There are some veterans that currently use their deduction amounts on their property taxes, and their property taxes are low enough because of their other deductions that they have deduction left over. And then they use it on their car tags.
Car tax.
Wow.
They're not going to be able to do that in the future.
Huh.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we're going to have some veterans that are upset by that because they weren't paying any property taxes and they were only having to pay like $25 to register a car, a truck, and a motorcycle.
Wow.
Sweet.
And so,
Good on you, mate.
but when we look at the big picture here, our most disabled veterans are getting a huge benefit. We're bringing in our non-wartime disabled veterans. We're all getting the same thing, the same benefit. And so if we get that 240 removed, this will be a celebration for Hoosier veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep us posted, Lisa,
so-
on the radio show here. And
Thank
Do
you.
you know
and
how
I-
many veterans from Illinois will probably move out here?
well, they're already getting a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff, right? We got
Yep.
another
All right.
caller.
We
Lisa,
got-
you
thanks
guys
for all
did
the
a-
information, and we encourage our listeners
Oh, you're welcome,
viewers
and thanks
to
for
reach
coming
out.
down.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry I
Thanks
missed
for
you.
coming down to the State House. I saw great pictures of you guys. It looks like you guys had a great time on the bus. You
Yep.
had great representation, and it was good to see you in pictures. Hopefully next year it'll be in person.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks
Roger
for
that.
calling in, Lisa. And,
Thank you,
and
Lisa, as
bringing the
always.
news up to the region from Indianapolis. We had Lisa. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks a lot for calling, Lisa.
We got
Yeah,
another
thanks,
caller
Lisa.
on the line here.
Go ahead, caller. You're on with Veterans Views.
Hi guys. This is Joey Payank. I was listening to what Lisa said. I got a question for you. You know, every year I went to Crown Point to the county building to do my taxes, like that. You know, now I went in 1975. Okay, I got out in '76 because of the accident and stuff like that. Okay, but when I go to do my taxes, my thing is always labeled peacetime for '75, and I only got 14,000. I didn't qualify for anything else because they said, "I'm sorry, you're a peacetime vet. You don't qualify."
Well, then this
Wait,
directly
wait.
affects you.
What
Because
Yeah.
year?
75 to 76?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Was
yes,
it
sir.
peacetime, was it?
That should have been, well, Vietnam didn't
Yeah,
end until
right
what,
up-
74, 75?
Oh.
74.
Right after the
So you're right there on the
I signed in February. Right, exactly. I signed in when we were still considered a war, but by the time I left, because I was on the extended leave thing like that, you know,
Yeah.
we were already considered, I guess, peacetime.
Okay. Huh. I
You know,
wonder,
so- but yeah, I could only get 14,000 every year I went for Texas. I'm saying, and they said they do what they could, and I had been. I'm sorry, sir. You know, because you're peacetime, you only get 14,000. You know, so you know.
Yeah, and that's a good point. One of my friends that just messaged me had brought up a great question because according to my knowledge and his understanding, the VA rating doesn't specify wartime vet or deployment or if a deployment occurred. So
what
how?
goes by whatever year you served.
Oh, okay. So
Because
how,
Congress recognizes, and you can go, I believe you can go to the American Legion site, and it'll tell you what years or what wars what years they recognize, because they don't recognize everything.
got it.
You know, they don't. I don't think they recognize like Grenada or Panama.
Oh,
See,
Roger that.
You know.
Steve, are you looking
When I
up
filled in with
75,
the
76? What does it say?
Yeah.
So Vietnam era is November 1st, 1955 to May 7th, 1975.
Oh,
Oh.
so it did
See?
roll in. Dang, it was 20 years.
September 75. You see?
I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was 20 years.
I didn't realize that either.
That's as bad
So
as
you-
the Iraq War.
So you
But you-
just
I mean,
missed it.
worse, obviously. I'm not trying to compare it
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
but
Yeah, you just missed
But
it.
when I
realize it
did
was
my
that
thing
long.
for American Legion, when I did my application, it comes back Grenada. See, my application for American
Oh.
Legion says I was in Grenada. You know, so that's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Grenada?
One says peacetime, one says Grenada. Yes.
Huh. Well, Grenada wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
thought it was-
that was different. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
We
that-
weren't at
that-
war
that's
with
what
them,
they
but
did.
you know, just like when we went into South
That's
America
what
and
they-
Nicaragua, we weren't at war with them, but you know, people were down there fighting.
Yeah.
So, you know,
they never give South America conflict much, you know, credibility as far as like war,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's always just like a mission. You know, like everything going on in Venezuela right now. It's like, are these soldiers are going to be considered wartime or combat vets? You know,
So that's what I was wondering.
mean?
Like, how does that work? Because, like,
all special
think
forces
about
operations,
when
really.
Iraq and
Yeah.
Afghanistan were going on. We actually had troops in Africa.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
there was
remember
a
they-
ton of conflict in
There was that
Africa,
one
yeah.
tech sergeant that got in that huge. They got in that firefight and he got left behind.
Oh, you're talking about Black Hawk Down.
No.
No?
There was another one where this it was like a special forces unit got engaged and they thought this tech sergeant was dead, but drone footage showed that he continued fighting for like another 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But anyways, that was in Africa. So I'm
Okay.
curious how that works.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Joe, we got another call. You got anything else?
Yeah, no, I just want to get together with you, Steve, later on, okay? Regarding my my other friend and stuff like that, he got a denial on his ear thing, okay? So need to talk to you about that later on, okay, my friend?
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna head out to Lowell tomorrow. We're carpooling.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for
Thanks,
calling
Joe.
in. We got
Yeah.
another caller here. We're gonna let him on Veterans Views.
All right. Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joe.
Lots of callers today.
Hey, caller, go ahead.
Yes, hi. How are you all today?
Good. How are you doing?
Sir.
Doing all right. Can you hear me okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I do have a question about VA services, and I'm asking for my father-in-law, who is, his health is rapidly declining and so on. Anyway, we are trying to find services, hospice services and such through the VA. But we were told that at some point in the past, my father-in-law had signed against any kind of services because his insurance through his work was really good at the time. Is there any way he can still sign up for such services, even though, according to him, he had refused them in the past?
Yeah, because as far as I know, there's no way where you can like
Opt out forever.
opt out of benefits.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I think what it is when
Okay.
you have private insurance, they want you to use they'll bill your private insurance before
That's true.
the VA takes
Yeah.
over. So
Is
that
he
might
rated? Does he have a disability rating?
You know, that I don't know for sure. The one word he kept using was that he had passed up the moratorium on such services, which, that made little to no sense.
be. Yeah.
Was there some kind of deadline for opting out during a previous presidential administration or within the last several years?
No.
As far as I
No.
know, not for VA benefits, no. For health care, no. For education,
Okay.
the only thing I can think of is maybe education because they switched from that old process to the new GI
Yeah.
Bill at some point. So there was like
Sure.
a time
Post
frame
9/11.
where you could use one or the other. But other than that, I can't
Okay.
think of any instance where you could
But
opt out.
there should be little to no barrier then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That you
I
don't
wouldn't think
know.
so.
Well-
one thing primarily I would make sure is that he does have a rating.
It's more, yeah. He
You're gonna
more
be
has
able
to
to
be.
have access to so much more with the VA with a rating,
Yeah.
a disability rating.
Do you have his DD 214, which is his discharge papers? Because they'll definitely need that.
Well, see, the thing is, my mother-in-law, which is my wife's stepmother, is still living and is trying to take care of those things. However, she is mentally declining also.
Okay.
It's a common story. You know how it is.
Yep.
Hey, we have a
so
local
I'm just,
point of contact for
I-
that at the. There's a Legion in
Yeah,
Hessville that gets
that's
the.
my...
232?
Yeah, don't they?
Who-
Isn't there
who-
somebody there that really helps with DD 214s? We talked about it on the show before, Steve.
Not sure on that one.
But I would reach out to.
Back in the day, it was the Schultz brothers that did a lot of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Show.
Yeah, but they're both gone.
Yeah, those guys are gone. As a thing. So, but are you saying at the American Legion or the VFW in Hessville?
I
There might
can't
be
quote. I
somebody.
know we were
Which
talking about
one?
it on the show, and somebody called in and said, "Hey, anybody ever need help with DD-214?" And it was in Hammond or Hessville. So what I would do is just give.
We're going to be at the
Maybe we have to-
VFW in Lowell on Saturday. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's a good opportunity to sit in front of one of the experts.
let me. Does Ernie Dillon or Pat O'Donnell still have? Would they have information on that? I'm more friends with them.
Oh
than
yeah,
I
they
am.
one of them might. Pat and
Anybody on the
Ernie know a
show.
lot about.
send 'em a
this
message
yeah, I
and-
would send them a
yeah,
message if you have their number.
Yeah.
Those guys are
Okay, that's
networking
exactly what I'll do.
gurus.
Yeah.
And they have our numbers too.
Yeah,
So if you
well,
have
yeah,
any
they were.
questions, by all
Yeah.
means, give me a call, give Donna a call, give Rocky a call.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
good
I'm
luck,
in my
caller.
car and at my destination. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right,
you
thank
too.
you too. All
That's
right.
what it's all about, getting people
Yep.
on the show, getting them connected with the right
Oh,
places.
heck yeah.
That's why we have so many resources here.
You know,
so.
and it's so hard
Yes.
sometimes to break through that government bureaucracy.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, it
That's a
and you
fact.
just don't know what to expect, and you don't know if when they say no, you can't do this. Well, is that really true, or is that just an ill-informed clerk?
Yeah.
You know,
Right. And the starting point sometimes is the hardest place to find. Like, where do I start with this? I
Right.
think you gave right advice is get that DD-214
Yeah.
and then get with a local VA rep.
That's like the key.
know?
Yeah.
Is that DD-214.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got to have that because that has all of your everything on it. You know that you did while you served, and all your awards and everything. And
Wow. Okay, so do we have any other callers?
no, okay,
Man, I got to talk about this. That's crazy. 100% tax deduction for 100% disabled
yeah,
Well,
veterans.
Yeah, you'd be exempt for your property taxes is
Yeah.
That's
what they're
huge.
trying to push through,
Yeah.
right?
That's huge.
if
And
we
if
could
they-
get
in
rid of
other
that
states-
250,
other states do it.
240.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the round table this past week, somebody was actually I won't name him, but he was like, "Hey, Illinois does it," and then
Yeah.
the person that was leading the group was like, "Don't talk about Illinois." And he's like, "Well, I'll tell you, Illinois takes care of their veterans.
Yeah.
No, they're not paying property
Right.
taxes 100%.
And
That's
there's a
why
lot-
they're not moving from there to here. That's,
Right, and
yeah.
there's a lot of states that do it. I think there's 15 or 16 states that do it.
I just
didn't
had a
know that.
meeting with a Michigan guardsman yesterday. She's a client of mine, and she told me that, Michigan don't pay it either.
Yep.
So we got to get on the ball here.
Right.
You know, and somebody had mentioned Florida, and the answer I got from one of our reps was, well, Florida has all the tourism money. I'm like, but Florida's not the only state.
Yeah.
You know, if Michigan and Illinois and all these other broke states can do it, why can't we?
right.
You know, we've got a surplus.
Yeah.
But that was what I brought up when I went down to Indy on Monday, and talking to him, I said, look, this needs to happen. Well, we can't afford it. I said, I don't want to hear that. I said, there's things you can cut. You can't tell me there's not fraud, waste, and abuse in this state. It's not any different than any other state in this union.
Yep.
We've got it just as well, and you need to root that stuff out.
Yeah.
How about you stop raising our taxes and actually do something?
And that's what
Yeah.
pisses me off because they claim to not. We don't raise no taxes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but then they raise
yeah.
all these other little things.
Well, see, that's like
that
with the
add
new,
up to
with
it.
the new tax bill. We're getting an $85 credit or something on our property taxes. Whoopie-doo. And, oh, yeah, we're going to cut your income taxes, I think, are going to go down a little bit. But the thing is that requires all the states that aren't going to get as much, or not the states, but the cities and towns are not going to get as much money. So they have to make their own tax now.
Referendums and everything.
And it's like,
yeah.
this is ridiculous.
They want to empower the local municipalities to tax
Yeah.
locally,
Yeah.
right? So that they look better as a.
I mean, I understand the whole big government, small government argument. I'm definitely more towards smaller government.
Absolutely.
But you still got to have a government. You still got to provide
they have
services.
to be on
you
the
know?
same sheet of music,
Yeah.
man. You know.
I mean, I heard that a lot of these cities and counties are going to have to cut like fire and police.
oh yeah.
But see, that's the first thing they always want to cut.
That's the first thing they always wanna
because
cut.
it's a thing that gets people fired up, you know, and
Oh, so it's kind of like
it's kind of like a carrot, you know. Oh, if you don't do this, we're going to cut off your fire and your police, and we're going to lay off all the teachers.
That's interesting. I
You
never
know,
thought
that's
of
the
it
first
like
thing
that.
they say. The first thing. And it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. I bet if you went through any budget of any town, line by line, you can find stuff to cut.
Man, I never thought of that. You're right though.
Yep.
That is a good like bargaining chip.
The thing that they do, the thing that makes me mad is the government always wants to. The first thing they want to do is, we got to raise taxes. We got to raise taxes. No, why don't you cut something that nobody uses or isn't, you know, if it's not in the Constitution, whether it's the state constitution or the federal constitution, why are we even doing it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's just so many things that they can streamline that they just don't want to because it's somebody's cousin uncle who owns that company.
Yeah.
I
you
tell
know.
you, politics makes my stomach turn.
Oh,
man.
it's
just
terrible.
Like,
I mean,
it kind of makes me want to like throw
I was
up.
reading-
Like, it's so cringe, dude.
It is.
You know.
It's
So
dirty.
I was reading about the SNAP benefits and how like they changed so much in Indiana, right? So they rolled out this program, and just so everybody knows what I'm talking about, SNAP benefits or food stamps.
Yeah.
You can't use for certain products now,
Right.
Like pop,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
candy,
Yeah.
stuff like
You
that.
agree with that?
So I agree with it to an extent, but now you're starting to see how it could go too far because now they're saying a lot of the frozen foods you can't buy because they're processed or something. It's like
Yeah.
if you have over 50% of something in it, like you can't.
Yeah, they've really
Like ramen noodles, if you have over 50% sodium or something,
Yeah.
you can't buy it. So
Yeah.
like they have all these caveats. But the problem is now you're making people who are poor buy expensive food instead of being
'cause
able to get the cheap stuff.
You know, we
Yeah.
live in like the backwards world where like healthier food is more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like they want to pack you full of all those preservatives and
Mm-hmm.
sodium and everything. So it's all it goes back to the Rockefellers, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it has just created our food code. And,
Oh
you
my
know,
God!
Yeah.
Don't even make us go down that rabbit hole.
I tell you. You know, conspiracy theorists are starting to make sense nowadays, man.
Well,
When
you know,
you look at how they changed everything just by donating to all these colleges.
Oh yeah,
It's
The curriculum, the way
insane.
that we, kind of work the 40-hour work week. It's all
Yeah.
a sheep method to get us all to conform to.
I mean, it's like holistic,
productivity and
holistic medicines totally went
Right.
out the window. when that happened.
Petroleum-based medicine. What's petroleum? Fuel. Who owns the fuel companies? Rockefellers.
Yeah.
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 You know.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like when they wanted to, when they outlawed marijuana. There's a couple of reasons they did that because they made rope out of hemp,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paper.
out of hemp. Anything made out of plastic can be made out of hemp. Clothing can be made out of hemp. I mean, it's a wonderful product, but the powers that be, the Hearst, who owned all these newspapers, said, "Oh no, he owned not only the newspapers, but he owned the logging companies and all of that." So he was like, "Oh no, we can't have that." So they came out with this reefer madness thing, and that was the end of marijuana.
Reefer madness.
Reefer madness.
Yeah.
Steve Bramer.
Wait a minute. Why do I gotta have that name?
Oh, that's funny. But it goes back to, I always tell people, you've got to know your history. You got to know what started
Yeah,
this.
you do.
Don't just believe what the mainstream media wants to whatever their agenda is. But you have to do your own. You have to do your own research, and your history. Because if you know where this stuff started, you know why it started, and a lot of it's so bogus.
So,
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear something messed up? So, I read how a lot of our facts and history is being changed right now because Wikipedia. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
change
Go and
stuff
type in
Yeah.
whatever
in
you want, yeah.
Wikipedia. Yeah. Well, but And
Not a
which is-
reputable source.
Which
No.
that part is not the problem. The problem is a lot of these other places and people use that as
Yeah.
a reference.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, there's a reason they don't let you use Wikipedia as a source when you're in college.
Yes. Yeah.
You cannot use Wikipedia.
Well, I didn't even know you could do that. That you could
Oh,
like
yeah.
change
Oh,
your
yeah,
own things
anybody
on
can
there.
change
You
it.
can
Yeah.
add to it.
Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they have people that solely
That's
go
all they
on there
do.
just to change stuff.
Yeah. So you can't really depend on. When I see a Wikipedia art, oh yeah, according to Wikipedia, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's somebody's opinion probably.
Yeah.
You know, so you just never know.
Ooh,
We're
we
running-
should make like a conspiracy Friday one day where we just talk about conspiracies.
Yeah. Let's
Ooh, that's
do it.
right up my
Oh,
alley.
military
which one,
related.
Which one you want to talk?
conspiracy.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
course,
those.
course.
Yeah.
There are a lot of those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That can go off to a million rabbit holes because we
Yeah.
can talk about presidents. We can
I
talk
know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
technology.
Yeah,
We can talk about drones. We can
Yeah.
talk about UFOs.
AI,
Yeah, AI, right?
you know.
Ooh, that's scary.
So
we
we're at last call. We're gonna
Yeah.
go around the horn. I guess I'll start. I appreciate everybody getting on the show today. Lots of great information for VA disability ratings. Just want to reiterate the importance of reaching out to our local committee for the advocation of the tax benefit for property taxes downstate that Lisa had called. Please rewatch the show. We're on YouTube. You can get that information and reach out to your local committee members to voice your opinion. And the more that we talk, the more that we raise the red flags on things, the better it's going to be for all of us in the future. And thanks for tuning in to Veterans Views. It's an honor to be here. I'm Robert Rockwell. And we're going to let Steve Bramer give his output.
Yeah, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is our newest sponsor. His name, it's White Oak Home Care. They're a licensed caregiver company out of Indiana, committed to honoring our veterans. They provide quality insured bonded caregivers with trained delivery are delivered by medical professionals. They specialize in veteran support. So for a free in-home consultation, call 219-237-9563, or you could email at www.whiteoakhomecare.com.
Okay, that's in home care, correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm Donna, and I just want to say that, you know, like Rocky, I think it's an honor to be on this show and pass all our information on to other veterans, and I love helping the veteran community. And to the first caller we had about the execution of Private Slovic, I will do some research this week. And
I'm gonna
see what I
watch
can,
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that too.
Yeah, it's from 1974.
I want to see what I can find out,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. I want to learn his story, and but I like the idea of Conspiracy Friday, because you know a lot
We
of
get
the
Tom Clark on here.
a lot of the conspiracy theories are actually coming true now.
I
know. It's like see, we were right all along. But anyway, so continue to reach out to your battle buddies. This is a hard time of year for a lot of people because it's especially here in the Midwest because it's dark, it's dreary. The sun comes out maybe once a week.
The winter blues.
Yeah, the winter blues, and
that's
it hits a
very
lot
real.
of people. So
Yeah.
reach out, keep in contact with everybody, and keep on keeping on.
That's right. Yeah, and keep pushing forward, America.
Hoorah!
Hoorah.
Hoorah! Good night, Chesty, wherever you are.